Hello and welcome to last part of this series of creating this artwork. In this video I would like to share with you rendering part and then digital painting part, but I will mostly speak about my process with her regardless of this artwork, like what I experienced. So here you can see a rendering program that is called Keyshot, and I am placing different materials to different objects, and in this program I also change settings for some lightning and environment and stuff like that. And it took me a whole process, I think about hour and a half to get it right, and I rendered it a few times as well. One was unsuccessful, that's why I needed to adjust it a lot. But I compressed this part very much because it was mostly boring, really. I was trying to figure out stuff, so it wouldn't be that interesting. So yeah, that is how rendering works. And right now you see first three images are renders that I created, and second and third is what I used also in the next part. Fourth picture you see is my outcome. So next program that I'm using is Procreate, as I mentioned. It's for digital painting, and when I render these renders, one of them had like more other layers of like lightning, like ambient light, shadows, and normals, and all this kind of stuff that I use then to in some way combine together in layers to create still more realistic feel. And also I'm adding some other things like shadows, for example, that are not there, and I wanted to, that I didn't manage to get in the rendering program. So all that is not there I adjust myself and add. This whole process took me also about 1 hour and a half, this time-lapse that you are looking at right now, but it took me eventually another like 12 hours, whole day from then, when I was getting back to it and always seeing some mistakes and something I didn't like that was disturbing. So I was editing it several times still throughout that whole day until I get it right the way that I want it, and it looked as realistic as possible as I can make it. So right now I can share with you also like what I was doing like with her as well, because I wanted to use this time as well to connect with her more, and I didn't have that much time even to connect with Shayla on a personal level because of other stuff that I need to focus on, and it's mostly about like trying to figure out my life and how I can make money to survive in this dimension. So I'm always in some kind of flow of like what I have to do and want to do, and I a lot of time feel overwhelmed and cannot put enough attention into my other dimensional experiences. And although I had many experiences with the villa before and also with Shayla, I had last I don't know, months or even years some experiences that were constantly I was perceiving that I had some blockages that came up, because sometimes you can have experiences, and many people have at first, but then they get into stage of that connection that some new blockages are coming up and you don't have those experiences again that way, so you need to deal with those blockages. So I was experiencing some blockages that I wanted to solve and finally look at, so I made this my priority. And as well for this picture that I was creating, I wanted to have a more active connection with her as well, and to perceive her as well again better. So my intention was that in 7 days I wanted to be able to stand in front of her without filters. And as I said, like I had those experiences before, although like there are always some kind of filters, and experiences are not that long. But yeah, I was experiencing it in a way that, for example, when I would face a being from which I would feel they are attracted to me, projecting a lot of love and excitement and sexuality towards me, I would just run away. So I had a lot of these kind of things, unresolved shame and stuff like that around romantic and sexual relationships that I needed to deal with, and so I asked her to assist me. So what I was doing was that every day I started writing down like what I was dreaming about that night, and of course like I invited her into those dreams, and she got there every night that week. So that's also interesting, like when you call and you really make it your priority that this is like what you want to work on, like they like beings in general, they would definitely come and work with you. So she came, and I had a certain experience. I wrote down what was the experience, what I experienced there, like what blockage, what emotions that I didn't like or appreciate, how I reacted subconsciously, and was trying to figure out as well, like process it, like why, for example, I behaved this way. So I was going deeper and deeper. But after that, although I processed a lot, I still had as well like automatic session with her, automatic writing session, with her, when I would channel her reflection on that as well. And I experienced this also with Shayla years ago when I started to connect with her more consciously, that although I discover some things, that I have some problems and stuff like that, I touch the issue and blockage itself. But when I channel them as like towards the issue that I'm just describing, they somehow can channel the energy through me that already kind of like dissolves that blockage. So for example, I was thinking like, okay, if I would face this issue next time in a dream, I would like to behave in this different way. So I was trying to kind of like program myself in a way, change that behavior for next time, but next time never came. Each day, each night, I had like a new experience, that experience that I had previous night, and I processed it and let her speak to me about it, and she transformed that energy. It was basically already resolved, and I went into new experience and different, blockage and behavior that I showed again in a different situation. So it was really funny to see that how it's evolving, and eventually like I didn't really even like believe that I can make it in 1 week, although I put like strong intention there, but I was like, yeah, if it doesn't happen in a way, I was like, never mind, because you cannot really kind of like expect something to happen or insist on it. But because I was without those expectations and fully open to process, it really happened last night, very last night, that 7th night. I really was able to stand in front of her, feel, even like accept even all of my feelings towards her. And I was able to stand there in front of her, not hiding behind the gay shame that I have and all this stuff. And I was able to, place my hand on her cheek, and caress her. But still, it wasn't fully resolved, all these things. So it wasn't very long experience. And basically after that, it kind of like threw me out of the experience again, because still I wasn't fully grounded in that, and there was some disbelief, and stuff like that, and surprise, I would say more like surprise, that actually I was able to feel like that person in that dream. So And after that, you know, those experiences stopped because I reached my limit, 7 days, and then I had to again like make priority like working on this artwork, you know, and other stuff. So from then I again didn't have any special experiences, or I don't remember. Sometimes I have, you know, for example, 2 nights ago I had some interesting experience with the Shayla that was in some way, you know, reflecting some of my decisions that I was making and intentions, but still it's just kind of like reflections, you know, they are there, you know, and stuff like that that I don't really process, or I don't have that intention to work on it more again, like next night and next night. But yeah, I would definitely like to create more space that I would be able to afford, you know, working on these kind of things more. And also what is very interesting that when I posted this image on Facebook, someone else shared it in Bashar group in the Facebook, and someone who saw that picture had quite interesting experience next night. So she got activated by that image, and similar like me, although I was experiencing like throughout 7 days, she had this only in one night that, you know, she went through dream experience of a lot of frustration, some fear, disempowerment, and unlocking a lot of things like that. And then she met Villa very clearly, you know, seeing her aura and even her smirk that was even more creepy than on the picture that I created. And that is, you know, how I feel her as well when I am in front of her. And yeah, the smirk is not even that strong that, you know, her energy is, but she's very joyous and she is very good. So she has this kind of mischievous smile on her face that she will do some crazy stuff if you even invite her. So interesting that probably because I went through this process, maybe I also kind of like grounded that kind of experience in the picture, so it can be unlocking in that way, not necessarily just to connect with Villa, but also maybe some other beings as well. You can always ask her, you know, to assist you in whatever way like you want to meet also with some other beings or whatever you need. I got a lot of upgrades from her also before that helped me to even make these videos, because before I was so ungrounded that I wasn't able to record videos of me, you know, talking about stuff. And that happened also after a lot of experiences I had with her, some crazy, sometimes even painful, but when they were painful, she also had something up her sleeve that, you know, she offered me something else that immediately helped it, and so on. So she can be very good, you know, guide, and how she can help you, you know, to progress on your spiritual journey. But yes, it's also up to, I guess, you and your way of maybe dealing with this kind of beings, and your approach, your mindset, and so on. So that's why I share, you know, my experiences as well, to kind of like inspire like how you can approach these things as well. So that's all for me and for this picture, and I hope that you enjoyed it. And if you again like want to have this as a print, you know, to have it at home and look at it not just digitally, then you can go to my coffee shop. No wheat there, only prints, so you can get that print if you want. So thank you again, and see you next time in some other videos. Bye bye.